Hi, it's Joy, and today we're watching Secret Invasion, Season 1, Episode 4, Beloved. I am excited for this episode. I am hoping Gaia is not dead, because otherwise what a waste of Emilia Clarke. I am hoping the show's going to really get into its groove. For me, I think a lot of other people have been loving this show, so that's great. For me, it hasn't been my favourite Marvel show, but I also haven't been, not enjoying it. I don't know, I feel like some of the spark that Marvel normally has isn't quite there for me, but I'm excited nonetheless, because surely we're building somewhere. Reminder that you can find the unedited version of this reaction and all of my reactions on my Patreon, and thank you for watching. Let's go! What did she see? Because she looked up. She either saw someone or there was something shocking in that vision. Okay, good. She superpowered herself? Holy shit. So he really did think he'd killed her, but she knew she'd been superpowered. I suppose that was the only way she was getting out of there. I still think that was a crazy decision to make. That was a risk. Okay. Glad she's alive though. And she read the scientist's mind. That's why she looked up like, ooh, I could do that.
That someone I know had something to do with getting them all together.
Just a teeny weeny bit. Who's also currently Coulson dating around this time.
Someone you know.
To call myself beloved.
Good title.
Myself beloved.
It's not much of a poem. Very romantic though. What are you up to now? People commented that he was a Skrull, and I'm so annoyed at myself that it completely passed me by. And the thing that I saw people theorizing, and obviously like Rhodey had been acting kind of differently to the Rhodey we knew a little bit. The thing that was the biggest, like, oh yeah, everyone's right to me was, and again, I try not to read things, but I scroll past and my brain just reads quicker than my brain can stop itself, was someone put side to side Fury saying, I knew it was a Skrull because nobody calls me Nick, next to Rhodey calling him Nick, which obviously no one calls him Nick.
If it was you, if it was Gravik, then why does he need me?
What Gravik needs, what Gravik doesn't need, that's none of your concern.
Don't tell me she was always getting close to Fury for the Skrulls. It was never genuine.
Look, I'll make it easy for
Sad if it was the case.
Been broken ever since he came back from the blip. Or the old Fury. The one with power, the one with ability, the one who was indispensable to us.
Poor Fury.
Fury's gone. So this new one.
So she never loved him?
Defeat.
It's brutal.
I'm gonna show you what I am going to.
What happened to the real Rhodey? Yeah. He at least was hoping that there was some genuine feeling.
Hey, remember, we want them to think it's the Russians. Make it big, loud. The Russians would.
I still don't buy the Skrulls' reason for what they're doing. I'm superpowered now.
Never, ever have forced you into this, and I am sorry.
You didn't.
And I don't need your
force
sorrow
her.
or your pity for anything I did of my own free will. The only answer to the question of where I belong.
I'm sweet.
The only thing that I need.
We take down the insurgency. You, me, Fury. Once that's done,
Easy
we
peasy.
go to the an amnesty for the 1 million of us to remain.
That's not what she wants.
But we have to deal with reality.
He's
Gaia,
not
we're
wrong.
a people without a planet. Show them our hearts. They will see us.
I don't think they will. Given that most of them don't even know that they're there.
You're delusional.
It's not much of a plan. And having to live not as yourself for forever is horrible. Like if somebody turned around and was like, oh, you can't be yourself. You have to pretend to be something different than you are for the rest of your life. No one should live that way. There are a lot of metaphors in this. Now, if it's, you go to them, you say, give us amnesty on this planet until you find us another one. You know? What is the future of the Skrulls here? I just feel so despondent. I don't see that there is one. Like, unless they can live in the Arctic, though even humans are destroying that. Like, I don't know.
That's not who we are.
Because his plan would probably work to an extent. Like, if they manage to stop the insurgency, probably the president would okay it, because also he'd be kind of scared of them, and they could just hide and live. But it's not really the life that they deserve. And waiting around on humans to give it to you hasn't worked so far. But also murdering them all is not the answer either. There isn't an answer, and I don't know what the answer is. What's his plan here? Confront her, kill her, or what's she got in her hand?
You are by far and away the greatest mistake.
Poor Fury.
I don't know that if I had a chance to do it over again, that I'd do anything different.
Fury.
Don't do that, Nick.
No
One
one
day
calls
the
him
doctor
Nick.
came in and that I would continue to be a daughter to her parents.
And you've also done.
What did he think all this time about how she'd stolen this identity and still saw the person's parents? Like, I just kind of assumed it was a face she'd put on, not that she'd stolen an entire real identity. Why was Fury so okay with this before? I mean, the parents don't know their kid's dead, which I guess is nice.
That I would never hurt you. Sorry, darling.
Broke a lot of promises today, and every day before that.
Beloved, on the earth.
Fucking hell.
I'm not sure if this means we should get divorced or we should renew our vows.
Would you have loved me if I'd never changed? If I'd been my true self?
Change back right now and ask him. It's not a question he can actually answer, because we'd all like to think, yes, definitely, I would have loved you if you looked like an alien to me, like an alien species. But the answer is no one can know for certain until you've lived that experience, until you've met them. Like, I think he could definitely like you platonically that way, but would he be attracted to you in any way, shape, or form? And who knows? And like, are you actually attracted to him, or have you just kind of pretended it all this time? It is a messy situation.
Guess we'll never know.
I did think it was weird that even when she was at home, she had to have on the disguise. Like, whenever he was around, she pretended to be human for him. That was just weird vibes the whole time. And maybe he wouldn't have liked her if she wasn't pretending to be human the whole time, but it was still weird vibes. Scroll in the shower, scroll in the shower, the showering, scroll. Gaia. She's being like, I'm a superpower bitch. No, lol. No one should have to hide what they really look like every single day. Where's the real Rhodey?
Way we left things.
How long has Rhodey been a Skrull, for one thing?
I mean, ancestors will reach out from the beyond and strangle your
His
black
ancestors wouldn't care very much. He's acting like he doesn't know he's a Skrull. Oh, he's so not... He didn't drink. He is so not sure what's happening right now.
Tell me the real reason you're here.
And he did not drink.
There are scrolls inside the U.S. government.
Really? How close?
As close as you and I are right now. Closer.
Did he put something in the drink?
Oof, that's bad. And that's you.
Yeah, but if we tell people
You
Skrulls
and I
exist...
both know.
Liquid location tracker.
He told him the
Yeah.
truth! Or when he said you've got to make it look like the Russians did it, are they going to assassinate the president or
Welcome to
something?
England, Mr. President.
Here we go. Did they aim for the presidents? Oh. Yep. Yep. We're a wee bit screwed right now. Here we go, Fury. Would also be handy if Gaia could show up with her superpowers. Just shoot Gravik at this point. He is responsible for so much death and wants to be responsible for so much more, knowing exactly what it feels like to lose everything you love to war and gunfire that you have nothing to do with. Yeah, I don't think it's the Russians. Though I suppose they're going to kill all of these men, and they've already radioed ahead that it was the Russians to whoever is listening.
Fury? Barbara! More men coming, sir!
The British have finally arrived. I'm assuming this is the British.
Stand back, man.
A scroll saving the day. Oh. Woo! Hopefully all that's going to do is make it even clearer that an alien saved him. Do not shoot the alien. They're going to
No, hold your fire! He's with me! He's with us!
Thank God Fury is that trusted. Oh, someone saved Talos. Talos is a ship in another show I watch. Talos, what is his name? Okay, I like that they're actually helping the alien now. Please actually be helping the alien. Because he helped save the president. I love how much Fury is just trusted. Or was he not a trusted dude? That's a scroll. Of course it was fucking graphic. Oh god. Has he made himself fucking... Just keep shooting! Surely he can't if you manage to get through the brain. Well, it very clearly wasn't the Russians now, we can say. Like... Talos deserved better. At least in that last conversation, Gaia got to have a vaguely nice conversation with him before she left him because she didn't think he was good enough. They're gonna see the best case scenario. Why on earth do they still say special guest star Kobe Smulders? Unless they're gonna ultimately be like, lol, that was a scroll. She's still alive. Because she's not a special guest star. You killed her off in the first episode. I suppose actually no, she was a special guest star because we saw her for a second in the CCTV footage. Okay, so Gaia surviving because she ran into the superhuman machine, super scroll machine, did not expect in the slightest. That was a good twist. Makes me excited for potentially Gaia and Emilia Clarke's longevity in the MCU. If she can be like a good guy, super powerful scroll, could be very, very handy to have in various Avenger type situations. Again, I have no idea where the MCU is currently headed. Again, potentially if she had just fled, she would have escaped. You know, she wouldn't have been caught by Gravik, but maybe he'd have caught her later. It is probably better to have a superpowered scroll on our side, given that they have already all been through the process. I guess when she took the memories, she figured out that they'd already been through the process, so she knew it was safe. And it's kind of sad to think that her last conversation with her dad did end with her walking away, but at least she did say, when I think about where I belong, it's with you. That's like a nice thing to know you said that to him in your last ever conversation. And again, Talos's thing of, oh, well, if we can just get permission to stay here and pretend to be humans, it is better than the alternative. It's better than not having any kind of a home. Being able to just fit in with a society that's already there and to be part of it makes sense. And I think realistically, knowing the way humans are, especially in the MCU where there have been multiple alien attacks on Earth, if they were to say, oh, there are going to be 1 million people who are a different species to us, they look different to us, and they're going to keep looking different to us, there probably would be some pushback. But I still think that would be the best way to do it if we were going to have the Skrulls staying here, would be like, they have actually helped our people over the past like 20, 30 years. And they are citizens of Earth now too. We're going to say they can stay and we're just going to let them live here, and they're going to look different. The reality would be brutal. There would be the right-wing racist idiots, would be disgusting to them. There would probably be hate crimes. It would not be pleasant because look how hideously those kind of groups are towards people with a different skin color to them, which makes zero difference in the like species you are or anything. Cultural differences obviously to be respected, but skin color makes no fucking difference. It wouldn't be an easy thing to do. The one alternative would be if there is an area a bit like Chernobyl or wherever the Skrulls currently are that is uninhabitable to humans but would be okay for the Skrulls, and preferably like they would like it there, not just like, oh yeah, do you want a desert? Go have a desert and be miserable. Like if they were like, oh yeah, we actually don't mind a lack of water, I don't know, you know, something like that, and give them that kind of space. Again, the question would be, you wouldn't want to have another situation like the creation of Israel or whatever, which has caused unending problems, because one, like a world superpowers can't just be like, hey, we're taking your country and giving it to somebody else, even if those people are very well deserving of it, because that is just a huge mess. And you know, I'm not getting into the politics of that right now. But if there was kind of a situation where there was some land that wasn't being used by humans, that there was no economic or any kind of value to humans, which does exist in the world, but that was also beneficial to the Skrulls, they could have it. I don't know. And then they could at least have their own like nation where they'd be kind of themselves completely, and they could live with their own culture and their own society, rebuild it in a way that makes sense for them. Obviously, in the long run, they would keep populating and expand out of that place, maybe by then humans would be used to them. I mean, I don't know. Like, I genuinely think that's the best case scenario of them staying on Earth. Because them staying on Earth and continuing to pretend to be human would work, but it also would mean that they'd have to deny who they were for forever. And that is just so wrong on so many levels. For a temporary situation, excellent, makes great sense. Forever, it's just not a good enough answer to the problem. But it is better than genocidally murdering all humans and then taking over the rubble of the planet. Think how many bodies the Skrulls are going to have to bury in Garrick's plan. Like, the rest of Skrull existence is just going to be cleaning up dead humans. I don't understand Gravik's plan. I don't understand why anyone is going along with it. Like, why so many of them are going along with it. If it was like a tiny, tiny minority of Skrulls, I'd buy it. But it seems to be like the majority. I mean, okay, I suppose the majority of them are just living on Earth, but it's a lot of them that are doing this, and they're so cool with just genocide because a couple of humans didn't give them what they want. The rest of the humans don't even know Skrulls exist. How are they to blame? I don't buy the motivations of it all, but the idea that they want to do this attack makes it seem like the Russians, now the Americans were like, it's the Russians on their radios. But we also then saw a Skrull help save the president and then die and be killed by another Skrull. And surely somebody else in this crazy chaos fight was looking when Fury shot Gravik and he clearly changed his whole face, etc. Like, would be able to look at him and see that he was a Skrull. Two, that he was not human. Therefore, when the Russians are like, look, yeah, that wasn't us, which of course they would say even if it was them. But, you know, when the Russians turn around and say, well, yeah, we don't really want World War III, it wasn't us, then they believe them because the guy changed face. So hopefully we fucked up Gravik's plan there. And then ultimately we fucked up Gravik's plan in general, because then you would kind of have to start doubting everything was not a Skrull. But yeah, it's messy. He definitely... I love that we know Fury knows Rhodey is a Skrull. I'm glad his wife kind of liked him. It's still shit that the whole thing was a lie and a pretense, the reason they got together, and that she kind of just grew to care for him a bit because of the promise she made to the woman. Why did Fury never question the fact that she had an entire human life with parents before now? It's just weird. I mean, I suppose if the woman wasn't going to use her life, fair enough. And maybe, I guess, it gave the dying woman who hadn't told her family some peace to think that her loved ones would think she was still there. But at the same time, it wouldn't really be... it's just messy. It's a messy... I don't know what I would... In that situation, would I want my loved ones to still have me in their lives, but it wasn't actually me? Or would I want them to be able to move on and grieve from me? I don't know. Like, I just don't know. Which one... I mean, both suck. So definitely Gaia getting powers, and then Fury being able to actually save the president and track Rhodey were the two highlights of this episode for me. Very intrigued to see where this is going in the next two episodes. I would say so far, in my opinion, this is the first one of the Marvel TV shows that I've looked at and thought this should have been a movie. Like a 3-hour movie. I mean, a really long Marvel movie. It doesn't need to be short, but like this storyline should have been done in a movie form, not in a TV show form. And again, I'm really happy if everyone else thinks this is the best Marvel TV show and I'm wrong. Or not wrong, because I don't think you can be wrong with an opinion about what you enjoy. But, you know, like, if I'm in the minority, that is so fine. But I was, like, watching this episode and I was thinking, God, this would have worked so well as a movie, not as a week-by-week TV show. But, yeah, very good episode. Thank you so much for watching. A reminder that you can find the unedited version of this reaction on my Patreon, and thank you so much for watching.